Every one of you. Hey, I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Don't look outside, okay? Just close the blinds as of right now. Jonathan Dent, along with myself, Terry Henney, here at Radio Center, where the last time I looked, we had whiteout conditions here on Tittabawassee and 675. What have you got on the thermometer right now, John?
Well, right now out at the airport, they're still reporting some snow with 33 degrees. Downtown Midlands at 31. Here at Radio Center, they say light rain. I looked out a second ago and it was still snowing, but it might have changed in that time. It's pretty finicky. We've got 38 reported. I don't think it's quite that warm out there.
Well, it's just starting to turn a little bit. This whole scenario is moving very rapidly. So probably by the end of the show here at noon, it'll be a lot closer to 33, 34 degrees. Yeah. I'm not saying we hit our high for the day, but 36 is what I'm looking at for a high temperature. So, I mean, we're going to be hovering right around there as this front moves through very rapidly. Earlier this morning, hopefully you saw a little bit of sun. I know I did. And then plenty of clouds. And I got a funny feeling by the end of the day here, sun will be moving in maybe as much, as close to us as maybe 2 o'clock, possibly a little bit earlier. It's one of those things. The front's going through, much colder air behind it. Winds are going to pick up a little bit. Where were the winds coming out of?
Right now, winds are coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, though we do have gusts up to 30 being reported.
So. Yeah, and those winds will taper off here once that front moves through, because we've got a pretty good size high pressure that's working its way into Wisconsin. What that's going to do is it's going to kind of loop down underneath Michigan, that high, and then eventually as we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to be looking at that high pressure situated over West Virginia. And that's going to be ushering in not only much warmer air, because that's what it's going to do. Tomorrow, we'll get up to right around 46, 47 degrees. Our low tonight, though, is going to drop down to 22, because that high is still going to be to the south and west of us to draft a lot of that colder air. But 46 for a high tomorrow, 37 only for a low tomorrow night. So our projected high is what our low is going to be tomorrow night. And then on Friday, hang on to your hats. First of all, we're going to be looking at 60 degrees.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Can we leave the rest?
Get out the sea and ski. Yeah. Well, that's I know what you mean by the rest, because what that's going to do is it's going to usher in some pretty wet weather. And we're going to be looking at rainfall amounts better than a half inch. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see an inch of rain out of this thing by the time it's all done real early Friday morning through Saturday morning anyway. And in the process, 60 degrees for a high. It only dropped down to 53 for a low on Friday night. That is going to be our high temperature for the day on Saturday. Saturday is just going to keep dropping as we go through the remainder of the morning. Snow shower activity will kick back in late morning on Saturday, and then actually the sun will be out Saturday afternoon. Then it doesn't look really all that bad until we move into Monday. Monday night and Tuesday, temperatures are going to be hovering right around the 50, 55, 56 degree mark for a few of those days. So we're making progress. Like I say, don't be too discouraged by what you're seeing out there, because we're going to get a little bit more of that on Saturday morning. But winds are going to be a factor on Friday. We're going to have wind gusts about 35 miles per hour. And as I said, measurable amount of rain. There will be tornado or severe thunderstorm watches that will be pretty close to Michigan, probably all of Illinois, skirting on down Indiana, Ohio, maybe along the Michigan border, but definitely through the Ohio River Basin, the Tennessee Valley, and the Gulf Coast states. Once again, they're going to get hit with some pretty tough weather. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We got a lot coming up this program today. We're going to start off with Cody Harris over at Star of the West, and I think Cody's going to have, for once, some good news for us.
Hey, well, after the last couple of weeks, We hope so.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow. But before we do all that,
All of that's ahead. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
they say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. You better be ready because Mother Nature, you think she's throwing curves at you right now. We got a whole year's worth coming up. And the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency want you to be prepared with their risk management programs that are available to you. Check them out. Take advantage of the good things. Protect yourself against the bad when you work with the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, who's licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents on their cells for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. Ready for Cody?
I think I'm ready for some good news, given looking out the window. I'm ready for some good news here. Cody, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Hey, not too bad. Not snowing where you are yet, is it?
Oh, yeah. I actually got some big flakes out the window here in Franklin.
man.
So that was definitely not what I was expecting when I just peeked out there. I can tell you that.
Well, the last time I looked, it looked as though the soybeans were trying to make a recovery and the wheat also.
Yeah, we definitely actually had a good day in the markets today. We are up across the board on all the grains. Soybeans and wheat definitely leading the way. Corn's kind of scratching its way into the positive, but definitely from what we've seen the last couple of weeks, it's definitely a pleasant sight to see. Kind of getting right into it. You know, we got cash wheat right now. That's up 8, 663 on the white, 613 on the red. New crop wheat, that's up 8 as well, 695 on the white, 645 on the red. Cash corn, that's up 3 at 595. New crop corn, that's up 1 at 513. And looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are up 8 at 1405, and new crop soybeans are up 1 at 1239.
You think we can keep it moving with that report coming up on Friday?
Well, that's definitely a factor that's playing in here this morning. I think you got some traders that are maybe setting up for maybe some uncertainty on that acres report on Friday. So I hope so that we can kind of carry it throughout the week, but that report's definitely going to dictate where we go come noontime Friday for sure.
Well, it's kind of like 4th of July. That planting intentions report always has some fireworks, so it is going to be pretty interesting. See what shakes out.
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
you have a great day. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein joining us right now.
Yep, we'll head over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 1525 or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. They're the Great Lakes Bay certified ag dealer, and they specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans. Ordering is now the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank. They've been serving agriculture for over 125 years. They've got 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And we can always trust that Doug Klein will give us all the information that we need heading into the midday hour. Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you rested up now?
I'm well rested.
There you go. And the markets decided they'd cut you some slack here.
They're cutting a little bit of slack, but I want to tell you that gasoline is 60 cents cheaper in Kentucky than it is here.
Really?
So you know.
Oh, man. Hey, even with my points yesterday,
Burn up all your points just to get
I-
even with Kentucky.
I had to dig in the pocket for the extra change, man. I tell you, it was something else.
Just a sweet deal.
Wow.
Hey, there was a new poll taken that Americans now value money, number one, over patriotism, religious faith, and having children. So let that sink in. And gosh, there's a quote from way back, something about the love of money, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that we can't share on a family program, too.
Kidding.
Yeah.
And I drove by the Kentucky Speedway while I was down there, and there are at least 2,000 pickup trucks in the Speedway, in the infield, in the overflow parking. We've all heard about it. We all thought it was a rumor. We all thought it was a lie. I saw them right there, and I'm like, unbelievable. You know, it's last year's model. They're going to scrap them. You know they are.
Yeah.
And there they stood. Just
What color were they?
all colors.
All colors.
Everything. They
Wow.
still had the window thing in them. I'm like, holy mackerel! If I was a car thief, that's where I'd go. I'm
Wow.
serious. Just load them up.
Oh, the raccoons
anyway.
and the rats love that stuff, too, you know?
Well, that's what they say. You know, I
Yep.
think a mouse might have chewed on that wire. We're gonna have to just run them through the scrapyard. So,
Yikes.
and I see that we've been negotiating with Sweden to help them join the EU or whatever they're joining, NATO. And I see China's getting Russia and Saudi Arabia in the trade. So I don't know if that teeter-totter's teetering our way very well, but oh boy. Anyway, here's your numbers. The May corn is $6.50, up 2 3/4. December corn $5.73, up 3/4 of a penny. May soybeans $14.76 3/4, up 9 cents. The November soybeans $13.05 1/2, up 1 3/4. May wheat is $7.07 1/2, up 7 3/4, and December wheat $7.46 3/4, up 6 cents. The crude oil $73.68, up 48 cents. Heating oil is $260.22, down 4 1/2 cents. Gasoline is $264.80, down 3 1/4 cents. Natural gas $214.40, that's down 0.3 of a penny. Currencies. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3569 at the border. That's down 29 ticks. The dollar buys 132.54 yen. That's up 168 ticks. The euro is at 108.34. That's unchanged. And the dollar's at 102.63, up 20 ticks. Gold is at 1968.40, down $5.10. Silver's 23.48, up 6.5 cents. And platinum's at 966.40, up $3.
All right. You have a good day, Doug.
Thanks, you too.
We'll talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by one of their conveniently located offices today and see how they can be your hometown financial solution. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Who do we have on the dock now?
We're going to head over to Nutrien Ag and talk with Ed Garber. Ed, good morning.
Morning, Ed.
Morning,
How you
Terry.
doing?
How are you? Good. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Now, don't let the snow throw you. I know you got a lot of people just calling you all the time. What are our producers asking you about right now?
Well, you're right. I had a spiel. I was going to talk about springs about here, but looking out the window, it's snowing today. But hey, producers are just wanting to make sure, the big thing still is around supply, around logistics, around pricing these days, because it's real dynamic, it's real volatile, ups and downs. But that's the biggest questions we're getting these days.
Okay, so making sure that you got the product when you need it, right?
You bet. Mostly supplies are favorable on pretty much most of the inputs. Pricing and markets are still pretty volatile, but the biggest thing we're advising our customers and all farmers, just make sure you're communicating with your supplier, get the crop plan finalized, take shipments when you're prompted to take them, and be proactive rather than reactive. Because the one thing not changing, Terry, is the labor issue. So, we're probably pushing a little harder than usual to get stuff out the doors, just to make sure we get it all done.
Yeah, get it done. And I know you guys have been asked a lot of questions about some of the new products that have come out for application this spring. There's an educational process that's continuing, isn't there?
There is. There's just a plethora of new things all the time. And, as I like to say to our customers, you just got to sort your way through the noise, right? So, connect with somebody you trust, ask a lot of questions, and do your homework.
Yeah. Because if there's a way to save a buck or two, you guys know what it is, and you're leading farmers in that direction, right?
That's the goal. The goal is about maximum return on investment. That's what we're here for.
Ed Garber, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
You bet. Ed Garber over at Nutrien Ag. We'll be right back, but first this.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Why do I go by Shaw? Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor
To make my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R to
do both vegetables and my flowers. It's exciting putting yourself out there, learning something new.
And with a long list of easy-to-attach implements, ranging from a front loader to a box blade and backhoe, they both can make
The earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $130 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by Krizak's House Family Restaurant. You want to reserve a seat, a table, whatever it is for Easter, especially Easter Sunday morning. Now's the time to do that. 989-894-5531. A lot of folks have made it a family tradition to go out to Krizak's house for Easter Sunday, for brunch, or for that matter, anytime on Easter. It's a great tradition. Continue it this year. 989-894-5531. They're a great place to dine in. They also can take care of whatever you need, any upcoming events. Just give them a call. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side. Who do we have on the line with us right now?
Well, now we've got Joe Kramer from the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
I'm all right. Watching it snow.
Yeah. Well, I just took a look out here. Looks like it's quit here. So give yourself another half hour, okay? And then then you should be clear. We were talking about eating out on Easter, and I'm sure Krizak's House has got the bean dishes out there on their buffet table. There's a lot of interest in bean products for a number of reasons, and I think more and more individuals are looking at beans for health reasons. So as we approach and get into the growing season, how are the markets responding right now to dry bean growers?
I'm glad that's where we're going, Terry. That's what I wanted to talk about too today. And I agree with you. We're seeing more and more interest, health conscious people, people that are watching their food dollar and trying to stretch that out a little bit. And beans are a great way to do that. But we've sort of seen the value in particular of black beans rising over the past few months, and kind of paying attention to what's causing that. And it's a combination of everything from demand, some demand out of Mexico, but more recently, some concern about the crop in Argentina. So planting should have been concluded down there by now. And we think just because of dry weather, there might be about 10% of that crop that doesn't get planted at all. And we're kind of concerned about the condition of the acreage that is in the ground. They did get some rain over the last week or so that's, we think, fairly helpful. So the jury is still out. We're probably going to see harvest start down there maybe late May, early June, but it'll drag out a little ways. So it'll be a while before we actually know the outcome.
What about government purchases? What's the latest on that?
That's been a fun topic too. We had a tender, or a solicitation as they call it, come out last week, and it was for huge tonnage.
nearly 2 million bags of Great Northern beans and another 2 million bags of pinto beans. Neither of those are Michigan varieties, but they certainly have an impact on acreage. And long story short, we thought the tonnage was so big it might have been a mistake. But after some conversation and understanding where the government was trying to get to, they've got $11 billion in CCC funds to spend on food, and they're trying to get a handle of what's available out there. So they were just fishing, trying to figure out what the bean industry might have to offer. In reality, they've amended that solicitation into a tender, and it's still for decent tonnage. But I think going forward, we're going to see the government step in this market more often for smaller quantities, still good quantities for us, but not upsetting to the marketplace, not falsely encouraging acreage or falsely influencing pricing one way or another. So I think we're making some progress in our conversations with them, and kind of excited about the way they may do business going forward.
So how does all this translate, Joe, into what the producers can look forward to for board prices of our dry beans?
Well, I don't follow that as close as I once did, but in the bigger picture, I think we're creating some new bean eaters. Historic bean eaters are eating a few more beans, just for a number of reasons: health, affordability, et cetera. And then when you look at these market conditions or growing conditions around the globe, I think that all bodes well for stronger pricing right here in Michigan at the grower level. So I'm pretty optimistic about where these markets are at and where they're going. And we're also watching Chicago Board of Trade, and we understand the relationship there, that as grain markets soften, they tend to yank on our pricing a little bit too. So long term, we'll have to watch that as well, but still feeling pretty optimistic.
Good information. Joe Kramer, thanks a lot for sharing. You have a great day. Put the shovel away. You won't have to worry about that snow, all right?
I quit shoveling a month ago. See you later.
Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. On the line with us right now is Chuck Cervinski over at Maple Hill. And Chuck, we are going to talk about spring, right?
We are, regardless of what it's doing outside. We've got some rain coming in the next few days, and it's going to help settle that ground down and get things started. And does your garden need a little pick-me-up after last year? Maybe it lacked a little bit in the nutrient department. Well, we've got the answer. Healthy Garden from Morgan Composting. It's a granular fertilizer powered by Dairy Dew, which we all heard of, and it's jam-packed with lots of organic nutrients that the plants really love, and it provides a great source of calcium as well. And it's chemical-free and completely safe to use on all edible plants as well as annual flowers.
What about application?
Application can be done by hand or by rotary spreader. For flower beds, you can go a pound per 100 square foot. For new veggie gardens, a little heavier, 10 to 15 pounds per 500 square foot, which is about 3 pounds per 100. And then you're going to want to till that in to a depth of about 4 inches. And for established gardens that you may have, you can cut back that application a little bit to 2 to 3 pounds per 500 square foot.
So we can stop by and you can show us
how to do it with Dairy Dew products from Morgan Composting.
Chuck Cervinski, take care. Have a great day, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Chuck Cervinski with Maple Hill Nursery. We'll be right back. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. All you got to do is give them a call. You'll make that old tractor look pretty nice. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.